Commissioner Gaucher and Ms. Brady. From what you know, representing your ports, but also your association with other small ports, is the 10% set aside meeting all of the needs of small and emerging ports? Is it adequate?
Congressman, if I had that magic ball to know, depending on the year, as to how many of the ports were going to get hit by various storms, I could say absolutely. It's a relative thing. Some years in Montauk, we've had it dredged six times within 10 years because we just get whacked with storm after storm in one year. Then we go a couple more years and we're better off. So I don't know how I could possibly answer that with complete clarity, but.
Okay. Commissioner?
Thank you for the question, Congressman DeFazio. And so far, from what I've seen, the answer would have to be no. Not only do we need maintenance dredging virtually every year in our area, but we also have a huge backlog of deferred maintenance on our jetties. The only way I can see us digging out of that deferred maintenance hole is by using the $9 or $10 billion that's on the books from previous years. The Port of Coos Bay, for example, the North Jetty, has lost about 380 feet over the last 30 years in length. So it's at a critical point where we have to replace at least 150 feet before we can get back to some semblance of safety.
Okay. So I appreciate the testimony on behalf of the by Executive Director Soroka of the AAPA. I will say that I have some concerns with that proposal, and I've had numerous conversations with LA Long Beach and other ports, Seattle and others, and my position is help us get the money, all the money annually that comes in, spend it, and a plan to, in a prudent way, spend down the money that Congress has previously diverted, and then we will come up with a fair distribution. I recognize the contribution of the major ports and the needs of the major ports. I also, am sensitive to what's going, all the many other ports are dependent upon this, some of whom really don't have any capabilities or very little capabilities of raising revenue. So I guess that's not really a question. Well, let's see, is there anybody on the panel who disagrees that we should spend all of the collected taxes on an annual basis? We should appropriate the total amount on an annual basis because there are needs out there. Anybody disagree with that? Okay, good. Anybody disagree with the fact that since we did collect this ultimately from the American consumers, the ad valorem tax, and it has an intended purpose, that we should also have a plan to spend down the nearly $10 billion balance in the theoretical trust fund, which is somewhere in the Treasury, maybe, but we just make up money anyway, so what's the difference? But that we should spend that down in a programmed way to meet deferred maintenance in both and needs in both large ports and small ports. Anybody disagree with that? Great. Okay, well, let's do it then. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.